Amazon merch is my favorite opportunity to make money with print on demand. It's how I learned about print on demand in general. My initial exposure was through Amazon merch, or now known as Amazon merch on demand. So in this video, I'm going to show all of my 2024 statistics with you, including, of course, number of sales, how much revenue those sales generated, and the number that you really care about, how much profit that I kept. And most importantly, I'm going to share with you my strategy for 2025, because I guarantee you my numbers are going to be significantly higher 1 year from now. So let's get to it. If you guys don't know about Amazon merch, it is an Amazon run print on demand program. It's invite only, or at least they say it's invite only. You have to apply. There's no trick to getting your application accepted. I know there's videos that imply that there is. I've been at it for 8 years. I am very strongly of the belief that it doesn't matter what you write in your application. It's just random on who gets in and who doesn't. Now, I am in Amazon merch tier 200,000. It's one of, if not the highest tier. That means I can upload 200,000 designs. That is a significant advantage over a brand new Amazon merch account that would start in tier 10. You guessed it. They can only upload 10 designs. I got an email the other day from somebody who had over 200 sales in tier 10. I'm not taking any credit for that, but I did advise them. And, hey, I mean, sometimes my advice works. Pat myself on the back a little bit, but they did the work, so they deserve all the credit. And of course, they kept all the money that it generated. But they were like, hey, can I skip from tier 10 to tier 100 or tier 500? And unless something changes, no. You have to go through the normal tier ups, which is 10 to 25 to 100 to 500 to 1,000. And you just keep climbing the ladder similar to that. So this is what, if you saw my video 1 year ago, my Amazon merch account looked like. I already had 198,300 designs live, with that equating to 4 million. Is that what it says? 40 million products. Is that right? No, 4 million products, okay, of a possible 15 million. And you might be thinking, Ryan, wow, you must have made over $1 million. Well, no, if you caught that video last year, actually, I'll show you how much I made in a second. But this is what it looks like this year. This down here is my 2025, if you will, what my account looks like. Now, what you'll notice is I was able to clear, 70,000 designs of free space? Yes, because my knowledge of how all this works is growing with time. I know I'm a talking head on the screen with a YouTube channel with a good number of subscribers, so I must know everything. But the reality is I'm a normal human just like everybody else watching this channel, right? So I don't pretend to know everything. And I'm just extremely excited because 2024 was a year of massive learning for me of how I can go about making a lot of money or a lot more money with Amazon merch. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna have to try a lot harder or, because time is money at the end of the day. Like, I'd much rather make the same amount of money, but be well hedged with making that much money through different income streams than be like all in invested into a single income stream. The reason I'm saying that is because you could make as much money as you want with Amazon merch if you're willing to put in the time. I did this as a one-man show and did it as I thought was best. You know what I mean? I kind of navigated this stuff for the first time every time I was tiered up to get to where I was. But then I got trapped in this, basically a full account. You know what I mean? They gave me 200,000 designs. It sounds like a lot until you fill it all. And then you're like, okay, now what? But I was able to work backwards recently and free up my ability to push new designs every single day. That's why in 2025, I know, or I guess it would be in 2026 when you see the review video, but I know my numbers are going to be significantly better, okay? Because I'm going to get to exercise a lot of what I learned this past year through a lot of experimentation, all right? And I've got another kind of thing that happened in 2024, but I'm not going to talk about it publicly, but it's very bullish for Amazon merch. And again, I'll reveal that to you in a year. Or if you want to join my private community, everybody knows that's in the private community. That is linked in the description, but that's a paid small group coaching. We meet twice a week. A lot of good stuff going on there. Otherwise, just wait a year and I'll tell you. All right, so my live designs as of recording this, 126,000. The reason that matters is because I have a lot of space to work with. And my real goal is that translates into right here, live products. I want that live products number. I want all 16.2 million products to be live and available, okay? That means when I upload to Amazon merch, I've got every single product on every single market checked. And you know what I just realized is I kept this screenshot from last year. It's definitely changed. This doesn't even account for the tumblers and whatnot. But anybody who's new to Amazon merch, every time you post a product, you get to choose what products and what markets that gets pushed to. So if I open up Amazon merch on January 2nd, 2025, this is what it looks like right here. You can see the US market typically gets the products first, then it gets rolled out to the international markets. I don't want to make this video too long, all right? But there's definitely strategies. And again, I tested like crazy this year and I learned quite a bit about how I can make a design that sells really well, optimized for the US market and every product on the US market, but also for whatever reason will also do really well on the rest of the markets too. And I'm very excited. But what was killing me was that I didn't have a way of working backwards, coming back to the slide one last time, working backwards from 198K. But now I have a way of working backwards. I'm going to tell you what that was. Actually, there's no need to bury the lead. I use a Chrome extension called Merch Flow that got a really nice update because with as many designs as I have, it was crashing pretty much every extension that helped you do bulk operations in your merch account because I don't have the time to be manually deleting all those. And you had to delete every single product with that design on it to free up one design spot. Not realistic. But with Merch Flow, if you're in a high tier, it does everything you need to do plus more. Working backwards is the main thing I need to do, but you can do things like reprice. You can change, make basic changes to your listings. So there's a lot you can do with Merch Flow. All right, so my goal again, to summarize, is I'm going to push to every product on every market, but with optimized designs. And of course, good SEO, all the things that you make up a winning product listing. So in 2024, I went to a spreadsheet, I did all the conversions. I made a total of 18,064 sales on the year. Total revenue generated after all the conversion rates, $361,840.60. And total profit in 2024, $68,057.30. Year over year, that was a drop off of 13.4%. It's not how that's not how you want to see things trending, but there is one main thing to note, and that is that the time I spent generating that money that hit my bank account, okay, it's as good as gold. I guess I'm not, technically, there is a delay that they wait to pay you. So I don't have all that money in my bank account yet. I want to be accurate here. But if you're watching this in the future, it probably did hit my bank account by then. Amazon does, they pay on like net 60 basis typically. But the time spent for me to generate that number, 0 hours, 0 seconds. I didn't do anything in 2024 because I was trapped. I said I wasn't going to go back to the slide, but remember the 198,000 upload slide? Yeah, I needed to work backwards from there. I don't assume that everybody who watches these videos has seen every video that I've ever posted, but like I've talked about my strategies back in the day of like, oh, I got tiered up and here's my plan with what I'm going to do with, these extra slots, right? And at the time it's like, that's what I'm going to do. But then over time, I'm like, oh, I can design better. I can do better SEO. I can optimize better for the international markets. And I can optimize better for the fact that there's phone cases, pop sockets, throw pillows. Now there's tumblers, right? Like I'm learning, I'm getting better, right? I challenge everybody. It's a new year. Why not challenge yourself to get better in every aspect of life, right? That you think is important. One aspect of my life is Amazon merch, all right? But I took this money because I didn't really have an efficient way of working backwards. So I spent 0 time to generate $68,000. And I'll actually talk about my ad spend in a second. It was slightly lower than 68K. But so even with the 13.4% year over year, I promise you when we do this video a year from now, it's going to be significantly higher because I'm going to work every single day on pushing new designs to new products. And inevitably, that's going to be a benefit to me. Of course, I'm going to do other things as well. But the main thing is going to be that I'm getting rid of some not as good, not as quality designs. I'm going to replace it with quality stuff. So time spent 0. If you saw my Redbubble year in review, same story. I didn't do anything. So I took all that money for free. Take all this Amazon merch money for free. Literally last year in 2023, I didn't push any new products because I was maxed out. So all the money I made last year, 78,000, I think it was, all that money deposited in my bank for free. That's the dream. People who say, oh, it's not passive. It's not passive. Okay, I did all this work in the past. And then now every year I'm getting like, let's just take the last 2 years combined, 150K deposited into my bank account. Didn't have to do anything. So I don't know what your definition of passive is, but whatever. Have that argument in the comments if you want. That one never gets old. Worth mentioning, in 2023, if I sold a t-shirt at $19.99, I got $4.89 royalty. If I sell that same t-shirt for $19.99 in 2024, it is $4.89. It is unchanged. That is awesome. Let's hope it stays that way because they have been known to reduce the royalty that they pay us When I first got into Amazon merch, it was closer to like $7.50 royalty on a $19.99 sale, in case you're wondering. All right, my ad spend. Sorry, this is in a weird order, but my ad spend on the year was actually just about $2,000. And I was looking back at my ad spend and something changed with a certain type of ad that I had set up. You guys know I love the lowball ads where I take all my ASINs for all 200,000 products, right? And I can copy paste 1,000 ASINs at a time into different ad groups in auto campaigns where I don't have to tell Amazon what keywords to advertise. They'll look at my listings and figure out the keywords for me, and they'll try to show it when it's relevant. I set up different ad types is really the summary, right? Because I don't want this video to go on for an hour. And a lot of those different ad types, because anybody who's been in Amazon Ads Console has noticed they have been making changes all the time since they launched the ad console, which was a good thing because it basically went from like all these fractioned ways of doing ads on Amazon to like one place, right? So FBA, same place, merch, same place, KDP, same place. You just have different accounts within your ad console account. Anyways, they've been changing up how they present the different ways you can advertise on Amazon. With my lowball bids, I was like, all right, I'm going to launch every type of ad with the lowest bid possible, basically, and see what happens. Well, something changed. And in January, February, my combined ad spend was like literally half of this number, if not more. Okay. So at some point I figured it out. So I was guilty of not paying attention to what I was spending because it literally skyrocketed because they made a change on their end. Not the first time that's happened. Etsy did that notoriously when Etsy removed our ability to control our cost per click bids. Because yes, in the past, anybody who didn't know this, they used to let us bid whatever we wanted to spend per click. And so of course I was bidding like less than 10 cents on every listing I had on Etsy. And I had like $100 a day budget. And then one day overnight, boom, it was gone. It was uncapped. And all of a sudden Etsy's able to spend my $100 a day. Well, anyways, I rant too much. Y'all, I'm going to hear from y'all in the comments, right? But anyways, I figured it out January, February. I tamed it. I turned off all the stuff that was wasting my money. My average ad spend after that, $2 to $3 a day. So significantly lower if you remove January, February. Anyways, $2,000. So you remove that. On the year, I made $66,076.62. If you do the division from the total revenue I made about 18.26% of the revenue as profit that I get to keep. And all things considered, guys, with Amazon merch, like I don't have to do anything related to customer service. Yes, you heard that correctly. I don't have to do customer service. Amazon does that. This stuff is sold by Amazon, which is only to our benefit. I don't have to do anything. I mean, Amazon handles literally everything, and I just get a check deposited into my bank every month from each international market. So it's actually like what, 5 checks or something, 4 checks. All right. This is the breakdown of products sold by marketplace. So 78% was the US market. Save this one. If the one thing that I know is going to change year over year is that I'm going to pump up all of these international markets. The ratio, I mean, I love the US market. That's like what I optimize for because it's the biggest. But I do hope that it comes down closer to like 70% maybe, if not more. I mean, I don't know. Ideally, every product that I list is going to sell on every product on every market, but that's not realistic. But with what I'm doing, what I learned this year, I know that it is like within reason possible when you kind of factor in, like if you guys are new to print on demand, real quick, like everything that you post for sale is not going to sell, right? Some will, some won't, most won't usually. Okay. So factoring that in, right? But what I can do now is I can keep cleaning my account of the stuff that isn't selling using merch flow, deleting hundreds or thousands of products at a time, and then replacing it with better stuff. And I'm going to keep iterating. If you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, guess what I'm going to be doing in like 5 years in the year 2030? Probably doing the same update video, except these numbers are going to be even bigger. And I'm going to be like telling you, I told you so, right? But it's not, I told you so like you doubted me. It's just like, hey, I said I was going to do this and I'm a man of my word. I'm not a quitter. The one thing I've never struggled with is like showing up and putting in work for a business or for anything else in life, right? If it's important to me. So I'm going to get this done. I promise. Like, and the numbers are going to go up. Other numbers from Pretty Merch, by the way, I could link to Pretty Merch also in the description. If you guys didn't know, if you're on Amazon Merch and you're not using Pretty Merch, I would definitely check it out. It's my favorite Chrome extension for Amazon Merch. Number one, it makes your dashboard prettier, hence the name Pretty Merch, but also give you the analytics tab. You can get detailed breakdowns about your sales. So I was making 55 sales a day last year. This year, or 2020, in 2023, it was 55 sales a day. 2024, 49 sales a day. Sales per month, 1,505. Here's a breakdown of my product by product type. This is another one that is going to change year over year. The thing is, like, they do put daily caps on how many products you can submit in a day. That number does tend to change. Right now, for me, it's like 5,000 a day, which sounds like a lot. But again, remember that most of the stuff I upload will not sell, but I can keep, over time deleting them and pushing new stuff. That's the plan. But if you do 5,000 divided by 14 products, and then you do the math on also you push them to the international markets, 5,000, it gets used up pretty quickly. But over time, my goal is that this will all, it's always going to be standard shirts are the best seller, I think, because I'm optimizing for standard shirts. But like I'm going to sell a lot more pop sockets. I'm going to sell a ton of tumblers. You know what I mean? Like all of those things are going to change with, kind of like what I've learned and me implementing that. Top fit types, men, 59%, women, 23%, unisex, 7%, kids, 6%. And here's my colors. The one thing I'll say, guys, if you're taking notes at all or just mental notes is if you make the color black available, you're going to get the black thumbnail. Make sure your design looks best against the color black, because that initial, like the potential customer, the initial time they see your product, even if you make it available on all the colors, because now Amazon Merch lets you make it available on literally all the colors, and they introduced new colors in 2024, which is pretty cool. But if it doesn't look really good on the first color that they see your design on, well, you're not doing yourself any favors. So I pretty much always optimize my designs for the color black, unless, of course, I'm using a lighter color palette, but that's rare. 2025 plan, I basically told you that already. So basically, I'm going to be doing what I told you. I'm going to be using Merch Flow, the Chrome extension. I believe if you're in low tiers, it's free. Don't quote me because it's been a long time since I've been in a low tier. But I'll link to that in the description. If you're in a high tier, it's a subscription, but like easily worth the cost. I don't know if it's like tiered pricing based on your tier, because I've basically just had it since I first found out about it, basically. But as a tier 100 or 200,000 account, like I couldn't do anything without Merchflow. So that's going to be linked in the description. Shout out to them. And Merch Dominator, the amount of money that was made by people that utilized this tool in 2024 was unfathomable. Now, I am going to be honest, and I said this throughout the year. If you guys have been subscribed, thank you. But I didn't really trend chase in my merch account throughout the year. I did mainly evergreens, and that's still going to be my plan. I'd rather just do evergreens, because an Amazon merch account to me is like, it's like the grail. You know what I mean? It's like the best thing ever. You got to protect it. So like I'm not trend chasing in my merch account, especially in tier 200,000. So I left a lot of money on the table that I could have easily been having like a couple 10K profit months easily, because I was doing it in the other things that I'll talk about. I got other income reports coming for you guys. If you want to see them, let me know in the comments for things like Amazon Seller Central, right? That might be a good one. Etsy maybe. But I didn't trend chase on Amazon Merch because I just said, you know what, evergreens only, keep the account as safe as possible. And plus I told you guys, I didn't upload anything to Amazon Merch. Like it's just Amazon Merch. I'm loving it. You know what I mean? What's not to love about it? I already explained why it's such a unique opportunity. It's unparalleled, right? Unless I miss something. It's like Redbubble, except Redbubble becomes overnight the #1 e-commerce website in the world. That's the easiest way to put it. But Merch Dominator Merch Dominator has a ton of features that make it awesome, but there's one specifically that you have seen me talk about all year, okay? You go to MBA and KDP, then you click bestsellers, then you click newest under sorting, and it does the work for you. It goes and finds newly submitted products to Amazon that have sold, metrics that you can monitor. Although the date first available, I've noticed, has been disappearing recently, so that's not great. But again, that would just make Merch Dominator even more valuable, by the way, if you think about it, because the bots are still going to be looking at new submissions, because you can still go to Amazon and sort by newest. And even if they stop telling you what day the product was submitted, you would still be able to do that and figure out within reason when something was submitted. So yeah, if they stop showing us when these products were listed available for sale, Merch Dominator will become the single most, it might usurp Merch Flow and Pretty Merch as like the must-have Chrome extension for Amazon merch sellers. So again, this is all to be, these things change over time. We don't know yet. We don't know for sure. Like the fact that we haven't seen it recently doesn't mean that it won't pop back up tomorrow, the date first available field. But all of this data, essentially, what does it do? It lets us make informed decisions as sellers so that we don't just have to flip a coin about like going left versus right when it comes to like niche selection. And I saw a video recently that tried to make it sound like niche selection wasn't important, which was, one of the craziest videos I've seen in a long time. But we'll talk about that another time. Anyways, shout out to Merch Dominator. I'm going to link to them in the description as well, because it made me a ton of money. Maybe not on Amazon Merch because of personal choice in 2024, but in all the other avenues, it made me a lot of money. And we'll talk more about that in a future video. If you guys want me to do it, talk about my profits on Amazon Seller Central, maybe Etsy. eBay, etc. So let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you for watching. I do have an Amazon merch course. It is linked in the description if you want to learn from me, my approach. It has tier by tier specific strategies. I already told you, somebody that I guided through tier 10 recently made over 200 sales in tier 10 in the month of December. Just saying, I do know a thing or two. It's been about 8 years since I've been in Amazon merch. It's linked in the description. And I have a private community where we go live twice a week for small group coaching. We have amazing guests, great resources, things like design templates. I literally show you every time we meet one of my designs that sold that day. So it's not just like me showing you a public YouTube video, but in a small group coaching setting, I'll even show you like, hey, let me go to my account and show you a couple of these designs that sold today, why I did the design this way, how I could have improved it, how much money I made, why I did the SEO, all those great things. So private community linked in the description. I mean, I don't know. If you think I can help, let me know, guys. I'm happy to help. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe on your way out. I'll link to the things I talked about in this video in the description, and I'll see you soon with another new video.